Hey guys, Matt with CJ Off-Road here. Today on the table, I've got Rough Country's brand new front bumper fitting the 2015 to 17 Ford F-150. Now their front bumper is extremely durable steel construction and includes all the LED light bars and even 2 pairs of cubes for each side of the bumper. What I really like about this is how it aggressively fits around the contour of the body, and it's going to match great with the Rough Country mesh grille we just installed on this truck. Now on this kit, you do get all the necessary brackets, all the hardware, and everything you need to get it bolted up. Plus you get some aggressive mesh panels, which you can actually remove and even color match to your vehicle. I like that this blacks out the front end of your truck, and it really does look a lot better than that chrome front bumper. Plus it's going to give you a lot more clearance underneath to help you articulate, or if you do go off-roading, to get some more clearance. Now with that being said, we've got a lot of hardware and a lot of different light bars wired up and everything behind us. So we're gonna go ahead and get this installed on our truck and show you how to get it done. So we're actually gonna work on the bumper here first on the table, and what we're gonna do is assemble the light bars onto here, as well as get everything ready before we put it on the truck. Now this is the necessary step, and don't mind the mess behind here. We do like to put all the bags and all the different hardware back here. But you are gonna go ahead and grab these L brackets, and they're each gonna be stamped. One's gonna say P, and the other one says D. Now the P is for passenger side and the D is for driver. We're gonna go ahead and put our bolts on with a washer through there, and then go ahead, set our light bar face down like so, and using the included black Allen key hardware, start that into the light bar like that. And then we'll repeat the same over here on the driver's side. I'm gonna get these snugged up using the provided Allen key here. That way they're just a little bit tighter for when we go to try and mount it. All right, so once we have that snugged up, there are 2 little places right here for you to mount it, and we're just gonna set the bolts into that and then go underneath, put another washer. We have lock washers here, and then 2 nuts underneath that. We're gonna go ahead and tighten these mounting bolts down using a 13mm wrench, and I'm just using another wrench to make it a little bit easier. Make sure this is centered up in between. You can kind of just do it by the spacing there, and then go ahead and tighten them down. So once you have the 20-inch light bar in the center done, we're gonna move on to the pods on the outside. Now you wanna make sure the Rough Country logo is facing the correct way, and put the bracket just like so. There's gonna be Allen key bolts and even a small Allen key that comes with it. Just go ahead and get those 2 tightened up. Put your black bolt through there, and the bolt will actually stay there due to some slotting here. So basically what we're gonna do is utilize the outer slots here, push this up through a washer and a lock nut, and then our regular nut on. Get that snugged up, figure out exactly where we want them, and then we can do the same process on the other side. And honestly guys, we're pretty close to getting this thing installed. So go ahead and just get it through there like so. There actually are 3 slots here for the wiring to go through, so pretty good move on that, Rough Country. I was honestly looking at the mesh grill and wondering how we would get it through, but they did leave us a little bit of a location to do that, so that's perfect. Go ahead and get our washer, lock nut, and then our regular nut on there. And that'll just stay there like so. We can repeat the same process on our next pod, put the bracket on and get it on here, and we'll move on to the other side because that's pretty much ready to go like it sits. We've got the wiring come through. We're just gonna make final adjustments. And honestly guys, that's where it's up to you. If you want these lights to shoot out wide, go down straight, you can adjust them as needed and figure out how you want to set them up. All right guys, so as you can see, we already do have our front bumper removed. Now we had an aftermarket front bumper on here, and we already took that off in order to get the grill on and to make it a little bit easier on this process. If you do have a stock bumper, what you're gonna need to do is pop off the plastic pieces in front of the bumper, and then you'll actually have 3 nuts exposed right here that you'll be able to remove and get this bumper installed. It's really not that hard of a process, and then what you'll wanna do is retain your flag nuts that go behind here, and when you slide on the bumper, that's what it's going to attach to. Now since we had an aftermarket bumper, we aren't gonna be able to use the factory flag nuts. We had aftermarket nuts and bolts with those. So we actually went and just reused them, and we're gonna get it all attached here. But if you do have a stock bumper, you're gonna wanna just use your factory flag nuts. They'll stay right in place, and then use the nuts to put these on. We finished up all the wiring on the back of here, and we actually have a Rough Country multiple light controller that we're gonna wire directly to. If you didn't, you can use the included relays to run the switches inside the vehicle, but I'd highly recommend picking up the multiple light controller, and we'll show you hooking this up to it and how all that works. But first, Brendan and I are gonna go ahead and grab the bumper and slide it into place and get it bolted up. just come my way a little bit. As you can see, guys, we've got both pairs of cubes working, as well as that 20-inch in the center, and that's all from the help from Rough Country's MLC6 light controller. Now what that does is it mounts underneath the hood and allows you simply to run a positive and negative lead right into here, and then we've got the switch box already inside ready to go. It saves hours of time and makes wiring really a breeze, and it is under $250 shipped to your door. So I gotta say, if you are adding this bumper on or other lights like this Grille light here, this really makes it a lot easier. And if you want to check out the installation video on that, you can click the link below. We'll add it right onto this one, so you can go on and check that out. Honestly, guys, it is a must if you're adding on any sort of electrical accessories. It's going to keep you nice and safe. But onto that, we're going to close the hood and show you what this bumper looks like. Well, guys, that wraps up the installation of this Rough Country front bumper fitting your 2015 to 17 F-150. I gotta say, I'm really happy with the lines and how aggressive it matches right up to here. It really does look better than the stock bumper and gives you a much more blacked out and aggressive look. I mean, with this bumper, you also get a ton of light output, that you get all the wiring harnesses and everything you need to get that done. Now with this also, you're gonna get more protection up front, as well as a steel bumper, so that'll protect you in the event that you get into an accident or maybe hit something when you're out on the trails. You've also increased your clearance and giving you a much more blacked out look up front, which I really like on this truck, matched up with this Rough Country mesh grille. Now if you want to check this out, be sure to visit cjponyparts.com and stay tuned to our off-road page, as you can check out all the greatest off-road content and make sure that you find the right parts for your off-road vehicle.